Hey, welcome back. I'm Ronco Johnson, your lifestyle focused wealth coach. How are you today? Hey, today we're going to be talking about the most important financial moments of the year for all you parents. It's back to school season, and it's time to start thinking about those routine shifts and the expenses that will spike and how families will feel when the pressure of reorganizing their entire financial lifestyle happens all at one time. But this year, we're not facing it all alone. We got a community here. So we're going to talk to you about how you can learn how our lifestyle focused wealth can help transform the way you do this season and lower the stress and be more strategic. So sit back, relax, and unwind, and enjoy me for this episode of When the Lights Go Out. Are you ready? We'll see you on the inside. Hey, good day, everyone. It's Ronco Johnson, your lifestyle focused wealth coach. Thank you again for joining us. Hey, it's that time of season that everybody, all the parents are thinking about. It's back to school season. Some of you already have started. So this week coming up is the beginning for some of us. And, we got things to talk about. We really do. So I want to give you some pain points that parents face during back to school season. And we're going to talk about 5 different ones as I usually do. I don't know why, but I like 5 pain points and then 5 solutions to your back to school chaos and drama. And hopefully it works out well for you. But first, let's go ahead and just start with the very first one. I'm just going to jump right into it. And I just want to thank you in advance for joining us. But what about the sudden expense that is like an avalanche? Every August, parents walk into stores and they're thinking they're just buying notebooks and pencils. And you walk out wondering how they just spent $400. Supplies, clothes, tech stuff, fees. It all hits you right at one time. And most families are not prepared for that avalanche. So we're going to be talking about that here in just a moment. If you're like me, I remember those days. The second one is we're going to talk about the time crunch that breaks budgets. And at this time of season, if you're a busy parent, it's probably one of those situations for you, right? So when school starts, time just seems to disappear. And parents rush between dropping off, picking up, practice, homework, and work schedules all the time. And I'm telling you, we have these conversations. If you're not having these conversations with your network of parents out there, it's probably time to build your network. Because when the time gets tight and spending gets a little sloppy, fast food, convenience buys, last minute purchases, oh my gosh, you need someone to talk to. You just simply need someone to talk to. And number 3, we're going to be talking about the activity overload and how hidden costs tend to pop up, right? And how they just pop up when you think about sports. The very first thing that you start to think about is football season, right? Clubs, tutoring, instruments for band. Every opportunity comes with a price tag. So parents want and need all the support for their kids that they can, right? But there's a hidden cost stack up until this budget feels like it's cracking. If you didn't save up enough money and you haven't prepared for it, those cracks start to show really, really early in the school season. And we want to just help you avoid that, right? The fourth one that we're going to discuss is emergencies. And those emergency surprises that derail everything. Give you an example. Say your child gets sick, or a car breaks down, or you're, as a parent, you miss work for some reason. One unexpected event can throw off the entire school season. Your entire school budget is off track, and most families don't have the flexibility or the system that's flexible enough to absorb that type of shock. We want to help you avoid that too. And number 5, long-term education pressure. That's right. Parents aren't just thinking about this school year. They're thinking about next year, high school, college, and beyond. And the pressures to get ahead financially can feel sometimes overwhelming. And that's what you're here for. That's our conversation today here at Lifestyle Focus Well. So I hope you have an opportunity to do me a favor before we just jump right in. Do me a favor and don't forget to hit the subscription right below. Hit the thumbs up, hit the like, and subscribe. A number of you are not subscribing, and we need that help from you. It's a free activity of love that we appreciate here, that we want you to be a part of the club, and everything that we need is in the room. So thank you so much in advance. So we're going to be getting into this today. And if you're a first timer on the show, we want you to be a part of it. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button right below. All right. So we need to make sure you do that. And always, always, always put the word takeaways if you want to add a comment that I can read online. Stick with us. I want you to be a part of it, right? We want you to be able to share, promote, and wake up with us. And always get that notification bell so you can get all of our upcoming information, right? So let's dive right on into it. All right, here we go. So let's talk about these wonderful ways. I'm going to share with you 5 ways that you can use our secret financial tool to help mitigate some of these living benefits or expenses, if you will, and how they can help you. You know, we've talked about insurance a lot. And today I'm going to talk about some practical ways that the cash value from insurance could probably help you. And these are all based on some special design permanent policies that I like to use. I like to use a whole life policy with riders that make it seamless. And we've talked about them on the show. And I'm going to share with you how these financial tools can help you with those 5 aggravating situations that we talked about earlier. And I would love to hear your input, and I want to hear your input. We want you to give back to us, right? So here we go. So if we start to think about it, right? What is the one concern? Cash value as your back to school buffer might be something that you want to consider. Why? Because we've already talked about the headache of not knowing what those expenses are going to be. And when you don't know exactly what those expenses are going to be, maybe you're just not prepared. So instead of draining your checking accounts and swiping your credit cards, parents, do this. You can use your cash value as a seasonal buffer. Policy loans or withdrawals provide liquidity without interrupting your long-term growth. And what I'm saying to you very simply is, why don't you consider taking a cash value policy loan to take care of these expenses? That way, the cash that you borrow isn't taking away from the actual value of the cash that you've worked so hard for. And it allows it to keep compounding when you put money into your own bank, right? That's what we want. That's what we want. Number 2, the living benefit. The living benefit of real life emergencies, all right? When you have chronic and critical situations, even terminal illnesses, these types of policies can create emergency flexibility for you in the background. If life starts to hit you really, really hard, and it does sometimes, these living benefits can protect the household from falling behind during the school season. You know, when you have families that are living almost check to check, you have to have the conversation about all the possibilities and all the things that could go right, wrong, or indifferent. And we don't want any of that to go away. This is why we strongly suggest focus and think strategy before we buy any products whatsoever. This is the strategy going into the school system, going into the school year. Your strategy has to work. And then we also want you to start thinking legacy before lifetime. Legacy is going to outlive us all. So don't just be focused on what we're doing while we're here. And this is the positioning that helps you get ahead. It really does. And some people haven't even thought that insurance is part of that conversation. What does it got to do with back to school? Well, number 3 reason. Here we go. Self-financing school purchases. I'm telling you, my daughter was into everything. If it was basketball, cheerleading, competition cheer, travel basketball, it felt like I had 10 kids. And in some ways I did. When I used to coach the AAU circuit and those types of things, I might have had 20, 25 kids. And we talked to parents about simply this. Parents can finance everything they purchase. And I want to say that very carefully. You can finance everything they purchase. I mean, supplies, technology, your clothes, just by using the policy. That's right, the life insurance policy. See, the cash value of the life insurance policy keeps compounding while families use policy loans to recover their expenses. So if you have a $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 expense right up front, instead of using your cash, we're talking about financing your own cash and leveraging the life insurance. Why? Because over the course of the year, you can pay yourself back at any rate, right? It could be $100 here and $100 there. You don't even have to pay yourself back. Why? Because when you take policy loans from your policy, it brings down the life insurance death benefit. And that is what is being leveraged. And it's a very powerful tool when you really think about it. It is your own banking system. The policy itself is just the policy. Your mindset is the banking system. And that's what we have to help you get focused on how to use these things. Instead of looking at how much it costs and if I'm going to be on the ground, how can I use this functional financial tool every single day to just take some of the stress out of our household expenses? That's what we're really looking for. So number 4 today is funding activities without stress. Funding activities without stress. Cash value creates and develops a budget for you. So parents can support sports. They can support tutoring. They can support clubs. This is what enriches our programs without sacrificing our own financial priorities. You know, there's a lot of fundraising going on at the beginning of the year. You're going to get a lot of fundraising packets. If you're like me, I used to get them all the time. But you want to be a part of the community. You want to be enabler of the community doing better, right? So these are opportunities for you just to take some stress off. Number 5, policy design. When you're sitting down with your financial expert, ask them if they know how to design these things that can aid you as an education engine. Because as an education engine, when it's properly designed or a properly designed insurance policy, it becomes a multi-purpose educational strategy that we're using. It's supporting private school, college prep, early college coursework, and your future tuition. But all the while continuing to grow. So here's what I'm trying to say to you. And we'll come back to this in more discussion after our break. If you're going to spend the money and you get zero return from it, wouldn't it be nice to take your money, store it, allow it to earn compounded interest for 3, 4, 5 years on down the road, while you have access to leverage against the death benefit. And you can pay it back as you work. And that's the key, is pay it back as you work. And in the future, you have this lump sum of money that you can start thinking about college fund. Somebody out there is not going to have scholarships. Somebody out there is not going to be able to get financial aid. So it's probably a good situation. If you want to learn more about how to do this, you might want to contact me at roncojohnson.com or our Lifestyle Focus Wealth Community.com and schedule some one-on-one time with us, and we can share with you how we use that at scale and how you as a parent and your child could benefit from these tools being used for educational purposes, right? Have I helped anybody today? Let me go over here and check out our comments and see what we're doing. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? What's up, Sam? I see you, buddy. Thank you guys for joining us again. And I got someone that's, how are you doing? Hey, T, I'm just going to leave it at that. How are you doing? I'll leave it at that. Hey, Xavier, what's happening, buddy? Hey, Donna, I see you out there in sunny Milwaukee. Thank you for joining us. Man, we got them all out here today. Man, I tell you now, if you're like me, I get excited when we start talking about going back to school. I get excited about all the traffic I got to see on my way to the office. No, I do not get excited about all the traffic. I am just like you. I got my mind on where I'm going, but I've learned, and I'm beginning to learn, that I need to pay more attention to the destination. That way, you can pick up all those little nuggets as we're there, right? Hi. I see you, Lawanda. Thank you for joining us. Hey, Sandra, I see you. Thank you for joining us. Man, everybody's popping into the rooms today. Thank you, Donna, for your personal bank. It's powerful. I believe that. Say, listen, if you want more of your information and you want to be heard, go ahead and put in the comments. Do me a favor. Go ahead and put in the comments. Tell me about what you're experiencing as a parent out there. If you got kids going back to school, what are some of your financial troubles? I like to answer some of those while we're live today, because anything that we need that has money in it and involved in it, that obviously, when I say life insurance, everybody thinks gloom and doom, but yes, we all have a start date and an end date. We all do. We all have a start and an end date. But let's not just stop our level of thinking there. Let's elevate. Y'all, it's time to start elevating our ways of thinking. It's time to start figuring out, hey, what can we do when we have a lights out moment? Or what can we plan for to prevent the lights out moment, right? And these are some of the things that we're going to talk about on the break, after the break, when we return. And these 5 different strategies that I've talked about, how they can strengthen your positioning when you start school, when your kids are starting school. And when it gets to college, it's even more of a situation. So stick around. When we get right back from the break, we want to talk to you about it. Stick around. Hey, join our Lifestyle Focus Wealth community. Membership starting at $16 a month when you pay the annual subscription. So register online today at www.lifestylefocuswealth.com. At L.R. Johnson & Associates, Inc., life insurance was never designed just for when you die. It was designed to protect the life you're building while you're alive. Using our lifestyle-focused design strategies, we know real wealth is not just about numbers on a statement. It's about having more time and freedom for meaningful experiences with your family, business, and legacy. That is the heart of lifestyle-focused wealth philosophy. Designing your money around how you actually want to live, who you want to protect, and what you want to leave behind. When lights out moments happen in life, your family should not be forced to struggle, sell assets, start over, or sacrifice the future you worked so hard to create. The wealthy understand this. They do not look at life insurance as just another bill. They look at it as a family banking strategy, a tool for protection, a tool for leverage, a tool for preserving wealth and positioning the next generation to move forward with strength. Because you work too hard to leave your income, your family, and your future exposed to chance. Life insurance, when structured the right way, becomes more than a policy. It becomes love in action. It becomes leadership. It becomes a promise that the people who depend on you will be protected no matter what. This is about taking control today so tomorrow is not left uncertain. Protect your income. Protect your family. Protect your future. Because life insurance is not just about a policy. It is about the lifestyle you protect and the legacy you leave. Follow L.R. Johnson and Associates, Inc., licensed insurance professionals for more lifestyle-focused wealth strategies. Contact our office to schedule a one-on-one session with our financial professionals today. Hey, everybody, it's Ronco Johnson, your lifestyle-focused wealth coach. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you to our sponsors over there at L.R. Johnson and Associates. Hey, I'm back today. We're talking about back-to-school stress and how life insurance and cash value can help in these strategies. And I'm even going to give you 5 new points. I usually don't do but 5, but I'm going to give you 5 more, along with 5 more solutions today that could probably help you as you're getting ready for school. So, you know, I really want that to be a conversation that you can have with your spouse as you're sitting down. But if anything, these are reasons why we want to ask you to join our Lifestyle Focused Wealth community. It's only $16 when you pay the annual subscription. You want to be on the inside of the room so you can be invited to our mastermind conversations, our retreats, our one-on-one coaching or one-to-many coaching. All the different things is on the inside of our membership. So go ahead and find an opportunity to go ahead and become a part of us, right? So we can keep giving you this information that can help you save in many more ways, right? So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. As I promised, we'll give you some more relatable details that I think that are real life so that people can see how these things can be used. Because your school year debut spiral, if you will, you know, parents, they start the year with all the good intentions. By October, their credit card balances begin creeping up. I know this because we sit down at our quarterly reviews with you parents and we go through what you've been spending on. And a lot of you say more food. They got friends coming over to your house. Your refrigerator seems empty. You're carpooling and you're taking kids everywhere, but you're not Uber, so you're not getting paid for it. And the gas prices are high. Am I talking to anybody that's in the chat today? Am I talking to anybody that's in the chat today? Not because they're irresponsible. That's not why the money goes up, but it's because school year expenses don't stop. They just don't stop. And gas for extra trips, unexpected fees, class projects. If you got this class project that you got to build, you go to the grocery store nowadays, even paper is more expensive. Good Lord. Sports travel, hotel fees are more expensive. Teachers' gifts, where you used to be able to go get them an apple, you can barely afford to give them an egg. Fundraisers, all these different things. A part of it. Do you feel the stress in my tone? Do you? There are some parts of it that you just don't miss. But every week brings its own new financial surprise. So this is why we want to talk to families before families realize it. That school year debut spirals. And that follows them into the holidays and everything else. It goes right down the sewer. But we want to be able to prevent that. We want to be able to prevent that. If you've been caught in that struggle, raise your hand. Put it up in the, put me too in the chat. Put me too in the chat. Maybe if you put that in there and I can sit down and have a conversation with you about how we can start thinking about ways of avoiding this. This is really important to us. Maybe I can have another program, bring some education professionals out here that can talk about it with me. So if you're an educator and you're a professional, you want to have these conversations, please submit to me, send it to me, info@roncojohnson.com, and I'll be glad to have you on and we'll talk about it so we can give you families out there some wonderful, wonderful ways of mitigating some of these costs. Number two, I want to talk about the invisible inflation of raising kids. All right? Parents, all parents feel inflation more than ever before, not just at the grocery store, but the cost of raising a child. Everything is more expensive. Shoes, clothes, technology, activity, foods, transportation. I've said it all. But because these costs show up so gradually, parents don't notice the financial pressures that come with it until they're already overwhelmed. It's inflation, but it's invisible. And this is some of the things that we have these conversations where we really need to start thinking about that. But if we know in advance, not thinking, but we know in advance that these costs are going to show up gradually, but they show up. We can start putting together financial practices in your makeup, in your model that can help you mitigate some of these expenses that catch you off guard. And it won't be invisible to you. You'll be able to see what's happening. That's what millionaires and billionaires are able to do. They're not just throwing money at it, but we're structuring plans for it. And then we're maximizing the opportunity on every dollar that's spent. If I'm making sense to you, give me a thumbs up in the chat or give me a thumbs up in the comments, because I need to hear these comments from you. And I love it when we're talking back and forth, and it allows me to make sure you're getting it. And sometimes, we're going so fast, it's hard to get everything in a 25-minute to a 45-minute episode. So I'm going to encourage you guys to take a moment to schedule some one-on-one time. Please, we won't hurt you. We're here to help you. And if you need information, if you want more information, you can send it to me. And my email address is right there below, info@roncojohnson.com. And you can send it there, right? And you don't want to miss out on how you can take control of your finances and schedule this one-on-one situation so we can talk about it. We have consultants around that can help. And some of us need the help. We need the suggestions. We need the room to work together, right? I'm hopeful that I'm hitting on somebody. So, number two, we've talked about being invisible and catching it, being overwhelmed by all the other things that are happening. But let's talk about the household problem. There's two household problems for busy parents. Anyone know what they are? Man, I can tell you. During the school year, parents effectively run two households. They run the home and the school lifestyle. The home and the school lifestyle. They have to set two different sets of meals. They have two different sets of schedules. Do you agree with me on this? Two different transportation systems, two different sets of expenses, but they only have one income. They only have one. And families feel the strain every single week. This is true. These are the headaches. How's your one income treat two households? The home and the school lifestyle. These are the elements that we got to be prepared for. These are the things that we got to be thinking about, right? These are situations that, man, if you had an opportunity to sit down and plan that out, and someone brought that to your attention, you'll say, wait a minute, no wonder my wife and I are looking at each other kind of crazy when school system is happening. Or maybe I need to schedule a little less time at work so I can be a part of the household to help out a little bit more. Or maybe I need to start taking on another odd job or adding a business to the family's structure so that we can make these things work. All in all, these are things that we definitely need to talk about. I'm going to go right here to our comments and let's see what we got here. I see you, Donna. What are you saying? If you have your own personal bank, you can eliminate A lot of the personal stress by funding activities or supplying without coming out of your pocket. This is a great tool to have. Hey, Donna, thank you very much. Hey, Donna, and I know you're an insurance professional, and I really appreciate it. Those people are absolutely correct when they say that it does take a lot of stress off of you. So if you're a back-to-school parent, sit down with your professional advisor. Sit down and talk with your insurance professionals and see if you have a plan like this structured. And if you don't, it might be time to sit down and look at things a different way. And, it doesn't hurt. We're not just planning for the start and the end date. What about everything in between? It's not the destination, it's the journey, right? We got to plan for all of those things. Donna has another takeaway. Says, I don't have kids in school, but I'm happy to help my grandkids' mom and their school needs. Absolutely. It takes a village. I think it takes a village to put people out there and get it going. Because, if grandma has to pick up the kids from the school, or maybe even pick your kids up from after school, make sure they have a dinner or get ready to do their homework or whatever the case may be. Man, there's so many reasons why these systems help. You could even take dollars from your cash value to compensate family members or aides to the family for watching your kids if you need to, if they have to stay beyond after school programs, right? Well, the fourth thing I want to talk about is opportunity guilt, right? The opportunity guilt. Every parent feels it because parents want to give their children every opportunity. But opportunities cost money. And from time to time, they don't have it. And when parents can't afford something, they feel the guilt. And even if they were to, even if they were doing their absolute best, sometimes their best isn't good enough. And that guilt becomes emotional pressure. And that's where we talk about, how we could resolve some of the emotional stress that we're dealing with internally, because the emotional stress builds up in many different ways. You start not talking at home. You don't think that anybody understands your pressure, especially for you single parents out there. And the emotional pressure becomes financial pressure, right? Because again, we want our kids to have the best. And the financial pressures become stress that affects the entire household. It affects your body, the way you sleep, the communication style between you and your kids and your spouses. Man, it can be a situation. And when we're talking about financial strategy and planning, a lot of the times we understand as experts, after 28 years, 29 years in this business, in the business of providing financial services and insurance to communities, we understand that a very large percentage of families breaking up is based around the emotional pressure that becomes financial pressure, and the financial pressure between parents starts to break up the household. But if we start to really think about why and what keeps us and what prevents that from happening, I think we start to figure out that this is a very useful tool to cut down that stress. Because we don't have this stress, the financial pressures, I'm not saying they go away, but we can mitigate some of the unnecessary conversations that happen from the stress it's caused. And then on top of that, we kind of go backwards, right? We go backwards. We think about it and say, well, if I can get rid of the financial pressures, then maybe I'm going to get rid of some of the emotional stress. And if I can get rid of some of the emotional stress, I can get rid of the guilt. And if I can get rid of the guilt, my child is having the opportunity of a lifetime. And I get to experience that. That's what lifestyle focus is all about. It's how you think about things and reshift our identity to say, what if I took care of it at the end so that we don't have to go through it at the beginning? Am I making sense? Hopefully, some of you guys catch that, because that's my 50,000 foot jump shot, and it's going to hit nothing but net, right? That's how my world works. Nothing but that. Nothing but that. So the last one of the day, I'm giving you the bonus one. This is number 10, number 5 after the break, but number 10 total is your future fear. That keeps parents up at night. It's plain and simple. Parents worry about the future for their children. College, career, housing, opportunities, stability. They want to give their children the better. Just a better life. And there's nothing wrong with that. But without a long-term strategy, the future feels very uncertain. This is what lifestyle-focused wealth is all about. Strategic planning. Strategy in every way, shape, or form. Always thinking strategy before we buy products and legacy before a lifetime. The uncertainty is a very expensive proposition for you. That's something that you just don't even want to have. Not being able to plan can be very expensive. It's kind of like going in the grocery store when you're hungry. You're going to come out spending more than you would have when you had your notes. Am I making sense to everyone? Any comments out there? Come on, y'all. I see y'all in the box today. Come on, give me some of your comments of what we're saying. If you've been there, if you know someone, put it in the comment. I'd love to be able to answer for you because today I think we're on a roll with something and we want to be able to help, especially you young parents or you single parents that have nobody to ask or answer to. We want to be a part of that community. We want you to be a part of our community. So you got a surrounding of people who are already benefiting from the way we're communicating. Our lifestyle focused wealth community is already benefiting from what millionaires and billionaires do. And it's every single day. It's not a sales pitch. It's every single day of changing the way we think and followed by our habits and the way that we start positioning ourselves in life. And then it's anchored by our community and support. It gets no better than that. I think these are powerful strategies that, if you ask me, I think they're irresistible. And I really think so. Because cash value on the insurance, you're using it as a debt shield. And that cash value gives families a way to avoid the school year debt spiral entirely. Why? Because you've already planned for it for next year. Instead of swiping that business cards, parents can borrow against the cash value. It's that simple. And they're keeping their money growing while eliminating any interest, fees, or financial stress. It's not just the liquidity piece of it, it's the protection from debt. It doesn't go on your credit report. It doesn't go on your credit report. So listen, if you're going back to school and you're putting everything on your credit report, on your credit card, guess what you're doing to your credit score? Pew! It's driving down your credit. And if you got a big purchase that you want to make, buying a house, real estate, or whatever case, that's a problem because your credit score now doesn't meet the standard. But if you use the insurance policy starts to give you all the leverage that you're really looking for. All the leverage that you're looking for. And in some ways, you could probably use it the same way you use a credit card. Get more detail with someone and see how you use it. Number 2, cash value is the inflation neutralizer. I'm telling you, inflation hits families the hardest. It's because cash value grows predictably. We know this. We're not guessing. We know this. So regardless of market conditions, your money is always, capital always. Put always in the chat, folks, and put it in all caps. Scream at me, comment, always. That means that parents can use cash value to offset their rising costs without sacrificing their lifestyle. And its built-in inflation neutralizer keeps families stable year after year after year. That's because that neutralizer is earning a dividend. That's right. It earns money every year, year after year after year. I don't see it. I'm waiting. I'm giving too much sauce today. I'm waiting. I want to see it. Put in the comments what we asked for. Go ahead. because it's powerful. Somebody here is going to use it, right? Number 3, your living benefits. This is the second household budget. You remember what I said earlier? You got 2 households. You got your household and you got the school household, the lifestyle. This is for the second household budget. All right? That second household budget is nothing more than the living benefits on your policies, and that creates financial safety net, if you will, that supports both your home and your school lifestyle. It's got those two. It's got to take care of both. If parents face a qualifying event, living benefits can be liquidated, right? And that keeps the household running smoothly. That's the main purpose here. Without interruption, without panic, without falling behind, you can pay your bills. All these things matter, right? All these things really do matter. When we slow down and we start to figure it out, then we start to say, man, this is a tool that I can use in so many ways. What if you had this tool? What if you had someone to help you with a strategy of using the tool, not just for school, not just for college, not just for retirement, but there's so many other ways that we can use these tools. See, cash value is an opportunity fund. This is the 4th thing I want to talk about. Instead of feeling guilty about missing out on opportunities, parents, listen to me. Come closer to the screen. Your cash value can create an opportunity fund. That's a pool of money dedicated to your child's growth. And you get to make that decision. You don't need to have somebody's permission. You can make this decision on your own. This could be the opportunity fund that you use to fund sports. You use it to fund STEM programs, tutoring, travel. So your kid doesn't miss out on those opportunities. See, cash value makes opportunities accessible without adding financial strain. Yes, you got to buy the policy, but you're also protecting your family. You're also creating a legacy if a lights out moment were to happen. So those are things that need to be secured in the first place. Those things are going to happen. But in the meantime, while I'm living, I might as well give it a designed strategy and why I'm using it. And if it's an opportunity fund for my children, I think it's a good place. That's why I got it on the list, right? Number 5, policy design as a future guarantee. When you properly have designed policies like these, whole life, universal life, my preference is whole life plans, becomes a future guarantee for families. I like the word guarantee. That's the difference. The word guarantee is the element here. There's no other financial product with the guarantee. The cash value grows, the living benefit is going to protect you, and then the legacy planning expands your thoughts. It expands everything that we're talking about. See, parents, I'm talking to you. If you don't have this, you're probably having a lights out moment. Parents don't have to fear the future anymore. You don't. So you can become the architect. So think about this for the long haul of it, right? I don't know who I'm affecting as I'm talking, but I will share with you this. I know you can hear me, and I know that we had a squeeze on the screen. So just come out of this. If you're ready to stop reacting to and start building your financial life, the time is now. If you're ready to build wealth intentionally, the time is right now. And if you're the time is right now. It's time to join our Lifestyle Focused Wealth Society. And I'm telling you, the community where strategy becomes a lifestyle. Lifestyle becomes a legacy. Hopefully, I brought this home for you today. And I hope that you had the opportunity to start thinking about your back to school situation, right? When we think about our back to school situation, we can eliminate a lot of the stress. All we have to do is start to focus on what is around us and use these tools in a proper way. Hey, I want to remind you, I want you to think about getting your tickets now for our upcoming Legacy and Wealth concert series. And I'm going to share with you this. You're not going to want to miss this coming September, where you can get the chance to meet with me and our special guest, Joey Sommerville, who will be in Atlanta September 9th at the Velvet Note in Alpharetta, Georgia. The musician behind Lifestyle Focused Wealth. And we're going to have our Legacy and Wealth concert series. And we want you to come out and be a part. And this is where we're launching our society, our membership. So go to lifestylefocusedwealth.com. And right now, to secure your tickets. And this is more than a concert. This is a celebration of legacy, wealth, and community. So we want you to be involved. We want you to come out and join us and be a part of the family, right? Because family, back to school season doesn't have to be stressful if you build it right and become a moment of power for you and your family, your kids, and all those around you. So remember, I want you to think strategy before buying products. And I also want you to make sure you think about planning for your legacy before a lifetime. Hey, that's my time today. I'm Ronco Johnson, your Lifestyle Focused Wealth Coach. And when the lights go out, are you ready? Stay blessed, stay highly favored, and I will see you at the top. Until next time, see you then.
What's up, everybody? This is Joey Sommerville, aka Papa J. I have one question for you. When the lights go out, are you ready?